Hi, I'm packing up my house at the moment and I've found some interesting things while I've been going through everything. I found this little journal and it is a stress diary. Quite a cool idea. So each time you're stressed about something, you note how distressed you are and you give it a number between 0 and 10, and 0 is low and 10 is extremely distressed. Then the importance, and I suppose you'd have to come up with your own way of deciding what's important and what's not important, but I just rated that from 0 to 10, and 10 was critical. And then for each bit of stress, I wrote down what happened, put my scales in, which are these two, what I was going to do, how I responded, then what am I really stressed about, because often the thing that makes you kick off is not the thing that's actually causing your stress, and then what will happen if that stressful situation doesn't resolve itself. And I kept this for quite a while, and through a couple of relationships by the look of it. So this one, for instance, I was stressed. I was looking for missing papers from work and couldn't find them, and I gave it a scale of 4. So that means, look, it's not super important and I wasn't hugely distressed, but I was a little bit anxious about it. And I looked into it and decided I was anxious about looking bad to my peers and setting a bad example. And then I would resolve it. If I couldn't find the papers, the response would be I'd have to ask someone to sit down with me to scratch out what the notes were about, what happened at the meeting. And she probably would have been understanding. This was one of my colleagues. And then I've noted afterwards what the result was. And it turns out that I found them at work after looking for 10 minutes. So it kind of helps you bring things into perspective. Here we go. Missed my train. I've put that as a 1 and a 2. So I've gone, okay, it's really, I'm not that distressed about it. It's not that important, but it was bad enough that I wrote it down. Slightly anxious, because if the train was late, I would be late to work. And I was worried about setting a bad example, especially after pulling up everyone recently for being late to work. And there was a 50% chance the train being late or delayed. No one would have said anything and probably wouldn't really influence anyone's behaviour. So not hugely critical, and ended up I wasn't late. So it just helps bring things into perspective. So I just thought this was kind of interesting. Some of the things I got stressed about were a bit silly, but yeah. Bit of relationship stuff in there, which I won't cover. Oh, here we go. Job interview, 2005. So this is like 20 years ago. Job interview. I was reasonably important. It was like mid-range, and decisions about my future. That was getting up towards the more critical range. And I was quite stressed about it. Indecision about what to do. Worry about not doing the right thing by the employer. That's kind of mid-range. Anxious about money. Anxious about being separated from my boyfriend. Anxious about causing problems with housemates. Yeah, so I had a few things going on there. Don't know what will happen, but interview will be easy. I kept this for quite a while, and I'm thinking that it's worth doing again.